Defacto world. New Mexico.
Under a sky of azure, where balmy breezes blow, kissed by the golden sunshine, is Nuevo Mexico, home of the Montezuma, with fiery heart aglow, state of the deeds historic.
You are looking at New Mexico, a state in the American Southwest, with 2.1 million people. A bit smaller population is Mongolia. High desert, mountains, vast open spaces. But what you can see from here changed human history forever. This is where the atomic age began. New Mexico looks like Mongolia. Seriously, imagine the Gobi Desert meeting the Hangai Mountains. That's what you get here.
In an area equal to 1/3 of Mongolia's territory, with limitless skies, sparse population and harsh climate, 2.1 million people live. But surprisingly, New Mexico leads the US in the number of PhD holders per capita.
Why? Los Alamos National Laboratory, Sandia National Laboratories. Some of the most advanced physics research in the world happens in this remote desert. The economy runs on three things: federal laboratories, oil and gas extraction, and tourism. Sound familiar? Resource wealth, government presence, spectacular nature, just like Mongolia.
I have arrived at the oldest plaza in Santa Fe, the capital of New Mexico State. This is not only New Mexico's oldest plaza, but the oldest capital city central plaza on the U.S. territory. By the end of the 1500s, the Spanish had conquered Latin America. Christopher Columbus first landed on the Bahamas Islands in 1493, discovering the American continent. By the end of the 1500s, Spain, which was the world's most powerful maritime empire, had conquered almost all of Latin America. Then in the 1580s, they established the Northern Regional Center in what is now New Mexico, the northernmost territory of Spanish possessions. By 1850, the Americans claimed this territory as theirs, but only about 60 years later, in 1912, New Mexico officially became the 47th state of the U.S.
Tricultural heritage. But what makes New Mexico truly unique is something you cannot find anywhere else in America. Three cultures: Native Americans, Spanish, and Anglo-Americans deeply blended for over 400 years. Not just coexisting, fused. The Pueblo people have lived here for 1,000 years. The Spanish arrived in 1598, before the Pilgrims landed on the East Coast. Then came American annexations in 1848, and all three cultures are still here and still alive and still shaping everything. Red or green? You can test it. Literally, New Mexico official question isn't about politics or economy. It is red or green. Red chili or green chili. Every restaurant, every meal, every single time. Visitors get confused. Locals answer instantly. Its identity: chili peppers, a Native American crop, Spanish cultivation techniques, American commercialization. 4 centuries of fusion on a plate. And the inside answer: Christmas, meaning both red and green together. Ancient and modern paradox. Now here is the paradox that defines New Mexico. Within 50 kilometers you have Taos Pueblo, continuously inhabited for over 1,000 years, one of the oldest living communities in North America.
1610 онд Испаниуд өөрийнхөө эзэмшлийн
I have arrived at the oldest government building on U.S. territory, located in the center of Santa Fe.
баян тэр дотор одоо ингээд
In 1610, the Spanish established the city in the northern part of their territory and built this administrative building, the House of Governors.
New Mexico, American нэгдсэн улсын 47 дахь
The oldest Capitol Hill in the U.S. Later, after New Mexico became the 47th state of the U.S. in 1912, Santa Fe was declared the capital, and leaders have been meeting here ever since.
Тэр байшинд бид одоо зогсож байгаа юм байна.
And Los Alamos, where scientists split the atom and built their first nuclear weapons. Ancient adobe structures where people still have without electricity or running water by choice. And next door, cutting-edge quantum computing laboratories. Indigenous wisdom, modern physics, same landscape, same state. The tension between preservations and innovations. It's something we understand in Mongolia, isn't it? How do you honor your heritage while building a knowledge economy? New Mexico has been wrestling with these questions longer than most places. Oppenheimer. And that brings us to the man who changed everything, Robert Oppenheimer. In 1943, the US government needed a secret location to develop the atomic bomb. They chose Los Alamos, a remote boys' school on a mesa accessible only by dirt roads. Oppenheimer, a brilliant physicist, brought the great scientific minds in the world to this isolated desert. Why here? The same reason Mongolia's mining projects are often remote. Isolation equals security. For 2 years, thousands of scientists worked in complete secrecy. Then on July 16, 1945, at 5:29 a.m., they detonated the first atomic bomb in New Mexico desert, 200 miles south of where I am standing. The Trinity test. Oppenheimer watched the explosion and quoted Hindu scripture. Now I am become death, the destroyer of the worlds. 3 weeks later, atomic bombs ended World War II in Japan. The nuclear age had begun, born in the New Mexico desert. Mongolia's connection. So what does New Mexico have to do with Mongolia? Both are sparsely populated and the resources rich. New Mexico has uranium, oil, natural gas. Mongolia has copper, coal, gold, and uranium too. Both economies depend heavily on extraction. Both have massive federal government presence. US government owns 1/3 of New Mexico's land. In Mongolia, the state controls our key resources, centralized power managing national wealth. We know the story. And both face the same questions. How do you preserve indigenous culture while racing towards modernization? How do you balance tradition with technological transformation? From the Manhattan Project to today's quantum computing research, New Mexico proves that you don't need to be on the coast to be cutting edge. You need vision, investment, and the courage to let brilliant minds work in unexpected places. Lessons from Mongolia? Maybe. At minimum, proof that remote doesn't mean irrelevant.